Hey guys, Break here, and today we're going to be talking about how to make a lot of gold with the new raid that comes out tomorrow for the EU and today for the US. But I'll start this video with a little story. So last raid, the Battle for Crucible, a few days before it came out, I purchased a lot of materials. I'm talking about enchants, I'm talking about flasks, I'm talking about runes, I'm talking about cooking stuff, all of the things you need for raids. I purchased them on 3 or 4 different servers. Then when it came to raid evening, on the first day the raid came out, I put them all up on the auction house on each of my different servers. I would then run cancel scans constantly for about an hour on each of the servers, just cycling through the servers, cancelling, reposting whenever anyone undercut me. And I think overall I made about 1 million gold profit in about 1 hour or 2 hours, just from posting high all the materials that I'd bought out, and from running quick cancel scans, from flipping certain items, and from just playing the auction house for about an hour straight on 3 or 4 different servers. So hopefully you guys can use some of these tips in this video to make you quite a bit of gold when the raid comes out. But before we begin, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Now Skillshare is an online learning platform with thousands of different videos across numerous different genres, from video editing to cooking. Now what sets Skillshare apart is the videos are very professional, very easy to understand, and they can really help you in either learning a new skill or developing on the current skills that you already have. Now I use Skillshare for a lot of different things, and one thing I've been doing recently is showing how to grow my YouTube channel, how to get more subscribers, how to start off a YouTube. All of that stuff is on Skillshare if you're interested. Anyway, in the link down below there is 2 free months for you guys, so you get 2 free months of Skillshare Premium. You guys can check it out, you don't have to pay anything, you can cancel anytime, so you'll have 2 free months. Check it out, you'll help the channel. Okay, so do I think you're going to be making as much gold as we made in Battle of Crucible? Possibly not, because this is not a major raid, it's only like a 2-boss raid, I believe. And a lot of people just aren't playing the game at the moment. I'm pretty sure the game's about as dead as it's ever been, which is unfortunate, and that means that the gold making is quite limited. But I think that almost could work in our favour, because if a lot of the gold makers on your server have quit, if any of the goblins have quit, then it's going to be really good for you. So it kind of depends, but I don't think the gold making is going to be as good this raid, but I still think it could be good if you invest in the right things. And don't worry if the raid is already out in the US, which it probably is when you're watching this, because the Mythic raid isn't out till next week, and that's when the serious raiders, particularly for the runes, that's when they want to buy stuff, and the pots as well. Serious raiders really use runes only on Mythic, nothing else. So if you start investing in runes now, then you should be able to make a bit of a profit on them. But I would be a bit careful about investing in the augment runes. I mean, if we look when the last raid came out, I believe it was January 22nd, that was kind of the peak for the augment runes. In fact, 450 gold, you see there, the region average price. They haven't been at that price. That was pretty much the peak they were ever at, apart from the start of the expansion. So they got to their highest point ever when the last raid came out. So right now, they haven't really started going up in price for the region average, which is quite good. So if you can get some cheap ones on your server, say below the region price or depending on your server's economy, then buy some out and try and sell them in stacks of 10, stacks of 20. You'll hopefully make a bit of profit. But I would be careful, if they're already quite a bit more expensive, then don't buy them. So what you guys need to do, you need to go onto the underminejournal.com. You need to type in all the items we're going to talk about today, such as Battle Scarred Augment Rune, and you want to look at the price and what the price has been over the past week or 2. And if the price has already risen significantly over the past 2 weeks, that means you probably shouldn't buy them because you've missed the boat, and that's unfortunate. But if the price has remained stable, which it has on quite a few servers, you see here about 250, 260, it's stayed about the same for the past month, then you probably could buy some out, depending on the size of your server, and resell them, and you could make a nice bit of profit. And a really good thing you can do with the runes and for anything in this video we're going to talk about, guys, is the pretty stacking. So for those of you who don't know, you basically buy out all of the low stacked items and you sell for the high stacked or for the medium stacked. So for example, right now on my auction house there's one anomaly, which is this stack of 20, which is really low. And I'm actually going to buy this stack of 20 out. There you go. Because that's too low. And the reason it's too low is because it's only the 1 stacks and the 2 stacks which are that low. Okay, there is a random 16, which again I could buy out. But the first real stack of 20 is about 537. Yeah, not 480, but 537. So that's the real price for a stack of 20. And if we want a stack of 10 or 5, look at the price of the stack of 10 is 600 gold. So I could sell the just stack of 20 that I just bought. I could sell it in stacks of 10 and I could make a lot of gold. And that's what you guys really have to concentrate on, is look on your auction house and look at the stack sizes and really make sure that you only undercut the specific stack size. There aren't even any stacks of 5 here, guys. Where's the stack of 5? There's a stack of 5 for 1,500 each. Well, obviously that's not going to be bought. But you could put a stack of 5 up for 600 gold. And I reckon it could sell, or at least for 550 gold it would definitely sell. So right now I'm going to put a stack of 10 up for 597, because that's the cheapest stack of 10, and I'm also going to put 2 stacks of 5 up for 597, because there's no stacks of 5, and that will mean I make about 100 gold profit times 20, so that's 2,000 gold I've made just there. And you guys would be surprised that these probably, almost certainly, will sell at that price. I know it's very strange because there's stacks of 20 for cheaper, but sometimes people only want a stack of 5 or a stack of 10. And often they don't want to go through all these different stacks. They just want to, you know, buy the highest stack that they want. So it's a great thing to do. So right now I'm going to post this and I'm going to go a stack of 10 for 597. There we go. I'll actually do 2 stacks of 10. Let's do 48 hours. There we go. And then we'll do some stacks of 5, also for 597. Maybe 4 stacks of 5. And we'll see if they sell. And if they don't, if someone undercuts us with a stack of 5, that's when you have to log on, particularly during raid time, the couple of hours before raid time. That's when you log on and you undercut them and try and make a bit more gold and make sure that you are the cheapest person. So another thing that I made a lot of gold on last raid was flipping the battle potions. So if you guys see here, battle potion of agility, if we go down, again, the most expensive price pretty much that it ever was when the mythic raid launched, where it was region price about 550 gold. It actually went up to 600 gold just a few days after the raid launched, but around 550 to 600 gold. And again, the most expensive ever was when the mythic raid launched and the normal raid as well. So obviously it's a really expensive time, and if you can buy them cheap, then it's a great thing to either flip or to craft yourself and try and make a profit. It's always a bit risky flipping items that have something that, you know, that are craftable, because it's probably better for you to actually flip the herb. I usually like to flip both. So I'll flip the battle potion and I will flip the herbs that are used to make it. So the battle potion of agility uses a river bud. And again, if we look at the price of river buds, it was at its most expensive price ever when the mythic raid launched and just after the mythic raid launched last time. And the prices just have not gone up since then. Right now they're back to 20 gold, which is the lowest they've been. Pretty much all expansion, the herbs are the lowest they've been all expansion. So it might be a good time to try and buy some of these up, particularly if you're on a medium or a low pop server. It's going to be great for you to do this because there won't be that many people with a huge stock of herbs. I'm going to go onto my medium pop servers and I'm going to start flipping the herbs and selling them in stacks of 200. And I'm going to start flipping the potions and selling them in stacks of 5, stacks of 10 and stacks of 20. So the other herb used to make battle potion of agility is Siren's Pollen. And again, we look down here, the most expensive ever time for Siren's Pollen was when the Mythic Raid came out for the last raid. It was at 55 gold. Most expensive ever time, and ever since then it's just gone down, 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 down. Now would be a great time to purchase if they are cheap on your server. And again, sell them as high stack as possible. Even if there's a few random stacks on there, just buy them out and flip them. Again, particularly if you're on a low or medium pop server, you should buy out all of the small stacks of this herb and flip it in stacks of 200 for a lot more. And that's going to be really, really profitable for you. But really guys, it's all about research. But I really think if you are flipping stuff like herbs or flipping potions, as long as you do your research, you're going to make a nice bit of profit. For example, I am looking at one of my low pop servers right now. The current price of Siren's Pollen is 32 gold. This was the exact same price pretty much as what Siren's Pollen was just before the last raid. Yeah, about 35 gold. Suddenly it went all the way up when the Mythic Raid launched to 120 gold per Siren's Pollen. And it stayed like that for a little while and gone down, down, and ever since it's gone down. And now it's at about 38 gold. So it's gone up a tiny bit from its low, which was 30 gold, but still at about 38 gold. So there is a huge opportunity to make a big profit here. So I don't suggest doing this unless you have a lot of gold, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy out the Siren's Pollens, all of them, absolutely all of them that are in the big stacks. I'm not going to bother with the tiny stacks because that's annoying. And I am going to sell them for a lot more gold than I bought them for. Obviously, if you don't have much gold, then start with something small, or just flip a tiny bit of Siren's Pollen or a few battle potions or something like that, and just pretty stack. That's the best thing to do. Just buy out the stacks of 1 and relist in more for stacks of 200. But for me, if you have a bit more gold, you can do stuff like this. I'll even buy up the... Actually, I won't bother with that. They're only in stacks of 20. Okay, there you go. So I just bought out quite a few stacks of Siren's Pollen. So we have 27 stacks, which we bought for an average of 33.95. And we are now going to post these stacks ourselves. I like to post with Auctionator when I do flips. Okay, so again, we're pretty stacking. So where is the stack of 200? Not here, not here, not here. Okay, the first stack of 200 is at 57. I probably could post for that, but there are stacks of 100 for this, so I'm going to undercut the stacks of 100. So 52.89, I'm going to post for 52.88 in stacks of 200, 26 gold. So that's 52.88 minus the auction house cut. So that's about 50 gold. And I bought them for 34 gold, so I'm making 16 gold per Siren's Pollen, or that's over 3k per stack. And I've got, what did I say, 27 stacks, so that's pretty much 100,000 gold profit I'm going to make. How long did that take us, guys? It took us about 2 minutes. 100,000 gold profit in 2 minutes. Will I post for 48? Quite expensive. Well, it's the same price, in fact. Let's just post for 48. So there you go, guys. I just made 100,000 gold. And you'll be very, very surprised, but this will sell. It will definitely sell because people will be going crazy tomorrow for the new raid. They'll be making potions, they'll be flipping stuff, they'll be wanting to make potions for all of their guild. And they'll be paying whatever the price is in order to do that. That's just what happens. At least it's what happens with the normal raid. There is a risk, guys, that because this raid's a bit weird and because the game's a bit dead, our flips might not be as successful as they usually are. But I'm going to keep on with the hope because it almost always works out like this. Like I said, last raid I made millions of gold doing stuff like this. And the most important thing, guys, is remember, when it comes to a couple of hours before the raids start on your raid day, you need to be ready. And particularly for Mythic Raid Day, so in a week's time, you've got to be ready. You've got to beat the cheapest stack of 200. So I'm going to come on tomorrow and I'm going to run a cancel scan and I'm going to see if I'm the cheapest stack of 200. And if I'm not the cheapest stack, I'm going to go and undercut. Unless the person really undercut me, then I'll just buy them out. But I just want to make sure I'm the cheapest stack of 200 if I'm flipping herbs. But there we go, guys. I would be very careful flipping anchorweed, because that was just made a lot easier to get, I believe, and the prices have gone kind of crazy, so I would probably stay away from anchorweed. Also, be careful with some of the pots and flasks, because there was that bug about a month ago which caused people to get loads and loads of flasks and pots, and it crashed the market. So I'm not sure what the impact of that will be, but I would just be careful, because there could be someone with a crazy amount of flask and pots who's just waiting for them to increase in price, and that could mess you up if you are wanting to flip them. So I would be careful about flipping the flasks and pots, but definitely you can flip the herbs, definitely you can flip different enchanting stuff, definitely flip the runes, obviously, and anything else that you might need for raid. You know, different fish and stuff for the cooking is another great thing to flip. There'll be lists anywhere. You guys know the picture. You want to flip the runes, you want to flip the herbs for the flasks, you want to flip the fish and the cooking stuff for the food, all that kind of stuff. And that's basically it. I hope you guys can make some gold. Be careful, don't go making stupid decisions. Always do some research before you buy something. Don't go buying something that's already risen in price a lot, because it means it probably won't rise in price anymore. Yeah, that's quite a bad thing to do, unless you're sure of the price increase. For example, the stuff that I just bought, the herbs I just bought, they had increased in price over the past few days. They'd increased by about 5 gold in price. But I know that the last raid, they tripled in price when the raid came out on this server. So I know that on this server, the prices can go crazy, and I know that I can make a lot of gold on this server. So that's how I just guaranteed pretty much my 100,000 gold profit. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about, guys. Sorry if this has been a long video, but I think it's a really useful thing. If you're interested in making big gold on raid day, then this is the best thing to do by far. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I have been very busy, and I've got all these holidays coming up, and I've got a lot of things that I am doing with uni work. But more videos will be coming your way soon. So thanks for watching, and look at this guy's transmog. It's kind of cool. But anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.